Hello everyone. This is a video demonstrating how to perform ETL using a data file, in this case with an Excel datasheet, Visual Studio and SQL Server. The overview of the ETL, which stands for extract, transform, load, is written here. So uh, and this is really tricky in terms of how to actually extract the data. Most fundamentally, sometimes uh, not everyone knows where the data actually is and unsure how to get them. And so that can be a real problem for some organizations. But for this course, as a demonstration, I'm going to provide that file for you so you don't have to worry about where to get them and stuff like that. You need to download from the Blackboard, and you need to transform that data. And this too can be very complex organizationally, because somebody or the data governance may need to decide on how to convert the data or transform the data in such a way to be loaded and analyzed and provide a report. So we will do a very simple transformation and focus more in terms of loading the data onto the data warehousing staging area. So that's the bird's eye view outline, and here is a little bit more detail. I didn't put down every little step because it's taking a little too long, and it could be a little bit different for different users depending on your edition and operating system. So I give you a general, little bit more detailed steps on how to do all that. And then here's an assignment of what you need to turn it in. So I'm going to go through this uh, fairly quickly, and hopefully this will help you do the assignment. I'm going to move this out of the way. And so the first thing that, let me just bring it here, and so what I'm going to show you right now is the extract portion. Okay, so what you need to do is to prepare the your desktop and create these 5 folders. Um, it's not really necessary, but I want you to get a feel for how the warehousing ETL works. So you'll name it as original file, prepared file folder, load file folder, and anomalous data, and then SQL script. So go ahead and download the data file from the Blackboard and put it in here. Okay, so if I open this, I have downloaded already, and I already put it in here. Okay, so that's the downloading portion, and then or the extract portion. SQL script, you should also download it from the Blackboard, and I downloaded it here in that folder, or moved it in there. And and what we want to do is to keep all of the original file here, and don't work on them. What you need to do is to move the file from here into this prepared file folder. Okay, as you can see, I already have move this here a little bit, a file in there because I've been working on it. And so what you basically just right click on it and copy and paste it over here, and I already pasted it in here, so I'm not going to copy and paste it again. And this is the file in prepared file folder that I'm going to work on. And so you want to open up Excel, right? And you want to, okay, so when you look at this document, there is a dollar sign and stuff like that, right? So this is a mixture of currency and the city or the text. So what I'd like you to do is to pretend that we want to convert these data types to a simply and basically numbers and text. Okay, you can do it however you want to do it, but let's say that is the requirement. And so what I'm going to do is to right click on here and then do the format cells, and I'm going to make this a straight number, right? And they got rid of the dollar sign. Do the same thing here, format the cell, do the numbers, and same thing there. Do the same thing here, format cells and make it a number. And the next one I want to do here and format as a text. Okay. And then the last one we want to do the number. Okay. So that's all you got to do, and save it as a data file. I'm going to go back there, and I didn't want to overwrite it because this is the file that I started out with. You can overwrite it because you don't really need it. If you need it, you can copy it from the original folder anyways. But I didn't. I just named it as a number 2. So I'm not going to save it again. But anyway, that's what I did. Okay. So I'm going to get it out of here. I'm not going to save it since I already did it. And so original file folder, I'm going to get rid of it. Prepared folder, this is the one that I worked on. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in the load file. Okay, I already put it in here, so I'm not going to do it again. But so this is the file that we are actually going to load onto a data warehousing. So we're done with the first portion of ETL, and you need to upload this as part of the assignment. Okay, we don't have anything in the anomalous data, nothing here yet that we're going to be working on, but data warehousing, a IT person would typically have this kind of arrangement. Okay, so let me bring up the outline here. And so we did the extract and transform. Okay, now we need to load that file onto the data warehousing, and there are several steps that I want to just go over before I actually demo it. You need to set up in a database in the SQL Server as a staging area. Okay, and then you want to use the Visual Studio to actually upload the data using a what we call a SSIS integration service. And when you do that, you will. But after we do that, and then we're not really done yet. We do need to convert that database to an actually working table, because that's a staging table. And you're done with that. Okay, so let me show you how to do the loading. So the first thing, as I said, was to start your SQL Server. I think the screen went blank because I needed to relog in as an administrator. So this one came up, and I installed several editions of the SQL 2019. I have an Express edition here, and the full edition, and forgot what this one was. But anyway, for this exercise, all I need is Express. So I'm just going to have this a database engine here as window authentication, and I'm going to connect. And here is the SQL Server, and if I expand this database here, I already have a lot of stuff that I've been working on. So I'm going to, let's see here, maybe let me think about this real quick. So I'm going to create a database, and just there are many different ways you can do it. The easiest way could be just right click on the databases here and then click on new databases. And then just give it a name. So maybe we can say business data warehousing. Let's see. Or you can say my database. Okay. And just say OK. And there you go. Right? So it's really easy. And if you want to expand it, and you can see the tables already that comes with it. There's nothing much there. But anyway, so MyDB, and that's all you need to do. So this is the first step. And let me minimize this here. I need to start the Visual Studio. So I'm going to start the Visual Studio here. I'll pause for a sec. So starting my Visual Studio 2019. And bring this over here. So you can create a new project. I already have it up here, but I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to create a new project here. And you need to enter a search for integration, because we're going to use a service called Integration Service Project. So once you type that in, you have a couple of choices here, but pick the one that says Integration Services Project. So click that, and then click Next. And then you can give it a name if you like. Project name, I don't know, maybe you want to do a ETL, whatever you want to give, right? And then check this box here for convenience, and then create. Let's go on to the other screen there. So I'm going to make it a little bit like this. Hopefully that's visible for you. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Anyway, so this is what you see. And then on the left hand side here, you want to click on the data flow task. Just click on it and just drag it over here. And then you might want to give it some name or the date. So I just click on it and let's see. And then let me see if I can go back there again. So put it here. You can click on it, give it a name, data flow task, data flow task, and then give it a, like, I don't know, 11/23/2021, just to kind of specify when this was created, or keep track of, you may be creating a lot more. But anyway, so have that, and just double click on it, and then it'll change on the background. So on this sheet here, basically you're trying to create a flow. So scroll down here this way. Under the other sources, let's see. Here's a flat file source. So we can just create that, because the CSV file that we prepared is a flat file. And so you want to double click on it to provide some information about that. So you can double click, and we need to create a connection to the file. So you can click new, and you can give it a name or accept the default or whatever. Um, and then uh, here under the file name, click on the browse and go out to your desktop, and find that load file in the load file folder. You may need to change this text file to all files, and then this will come up, right? Here's the desktop. Hold on a second. I need to refresh, so let me just go back there and click on the browse, and then maybe go to the Windows, users, and then go to my desktop here. Under the load file, here's the load file, and I'm going to change this to all files, and there's the file, right? So I'll click that and then open. And you also need to have something for this text qualifier. So instead of none, you need to provide a double quotation mark as a text qualifier, because we do have text. And then go to the columns, they look okay. Advanced, you can change it here, but we'll just accept the default values, and click on OK to get out. And look at the columns here, they look okay. So click OK. And now this is the data source that we have. We also need to, this is where the file is coming from, right? So now we need a destination. So you can go scroll down here under the other destinations. We created a database in SQL Server, right? So like here, this is the database that we created. So we're going to be connecting, this will be our destination. So let me move this out here. And under the other destination, you want to click the OLEDB destination, because we are using SQL Server. And just like the input source, you want to double click on it and provide detailed information. This is not available, say yes. And then we need, just like the other one, we need to provide a connection manager. So we don't have one, so we're going to say new. I've already created some before, so I'm going to pretend that I don't see these things, so I'm going to say new. And here we need to provide a server name. Instead of clicking this, which will take a while, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my SQL Server here, and basically I just need to copy this guy, right? So I'm going to pretend that I'm going to right click on it, connect. I'm not going to connect, I'm just going to copy this here. So do a copy. I'm going to cancel this and move this guy out. Come back over here and then click, right click, paste, and we're all good. And then you can test the connection by clicking here. Is this test connection successful, right? So that's okay. Now we need to provide the database name. This is the SQL Server instance name. Now we need to provide the database. The database is this guy that we created, MyDB, right? So we need to come over here, do a drop down, and here, lo and behold, here's a MyDB, right? So click that, and then say OK. And then say OK one more time. And then click on the mapping, and see, not yet. Oh, name of the table or the view. Okay, so let me think of this. So we'll need to provide let me back up for a second. We do need to connect this first. So click on the flat file source. Click on the blue. Blue is the arrow for data flow, good data. The red is for the bad data. So we're not going to worry about that for now. So click on this once, drag the blue, and put it onto the destination. Okay. And now let's double click on this, and the connection manager. So we're going to I already created this one, so I guess I'm just going to do that. Say my DB. So, and then have the table view, and here we don't have anything here, so we need to create one. So click on a new, and it gives you a SQL script to actually create this table. But we do need to provide a name. So let me see if I can type this here. Give me one sec. So I'm going to give it a little bit more meaningful name, like work underscore companies. Actually, I'm getting this from the SQL script that you downloaded actually. So if you look here, this is the name that we're going to be using, so I better give that name, right? So that's why I'm changing this to work underscore companies, and then we need to enter 234 bracket, and then give it a row number. This guy right here is the row number, right? So that's that. I'm going to keep it maybe over here so you can see. Row number bracket. It's going to be an integer, and then t 1 comma 1, and then a parentheses and a comma. Okay. Let's see if that looks okay, and so just click OK, and now we have this table here, and then you can look at the mapping here, and they all look matching okay, and then you can say OK, and now we have this without any like red flags or anything like that. So we are now ready to transfer the data from the flat file that we started out with, and then into the database that we created in the SQL Server. So all you have to do is to go up here and click the start button, and it's going to take a minute. It is going to tell you some details on the bottom here, but because we don't have a whole lot of data, it's taking just a little bit. So it gives you 2 thumbs up, 2 check marks, and then there are 71 rows of information that has been transferred. So you know that this is accurate because if you move it, go to the load file, and if you double click on it, there is a 71 row because the top one is a just a header, right? So this is accurate. Take a screenshot of this, right? Something like that, and then paste that into the maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe you can do that, something like this, so it'll catch everything. Or if you want to capture the this part here too, that shows the connection manager and stuff like that. You know, that probably is the best. Anyway, so that's that, and then you can stop this. Okay. Now that we have transferred this, we can go over to the SQL Server. So I bring that over here, and let's verify that it actually came over. So what you want to do is to right click on MyDB and then refresh, go to the tables, and lo and behold, there is a table right here. Okay, so you want to verify that it actually has the data. So right click on it. Oops. I didn't mean to do that, but anyway, so just right click on it here and then select 1000 rows, and it gives you the script, and then gives you the new column that we created called row number, and then here's the data that we transferred from the Excel file. Okay, so this is we're pretty much all done. This is the destination, this is a staging table. We need to convert this into a work table. So what we need to do now is to copy the data from here onto another one. Okay, so this is where you want to use the script that was provided for you. So let's make this a little bit here. Okay, now that I've arranged these guys a little bit better, so what I want to do is to maybe create a new query and then copy all this stuff from here onto here. Okay, and then I can get rid of this now. And so I have it here, and what we want to do is to I think I need to update this database here called, I named it as a MyDB, so you'll need to change this to this database here, right? So MyDB, and once you start typing, this will come up, so you can just double click on it and it'll do that, right? So if this happens to be at some other database here, if you select this and then execute, this changes to that. So that's a little helpful. But anyway, so what we want to do is we want to create a new a table, a work table, using this script, right? We're going to call it a work companies or something. So just select this and then execute. It says successfully, and to find out if it actually happened, you can right click here and refresh, go to the table, and now you should see well, there's the work companies table, right? So hold on a second. Well, that was a mistake, because if I look at this here, let's see if I can select the top. There's nothing there, right? I lost my table, so I'll be back to the same point in a minute. Okay, so I'm back, and so I'm going to now here we are. So instead of now creating this new table with the same name, because this is the one that I already created, I'm going to give it a 2. Okay, so 2 here. Select this, now execute. So what I did was I renamed this guy here, right clicked on it, here's a rename, and I gave it a 2 here, okay? And then the script is the way it was originally as you can see from here. Okay, so this is the same script. Anyway, so now let me see if I can finally copy this and execute. Now it's successfully. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to right click on it and then refresh. I should see two of them, right? So I'm going to, let's see. So this is the new one. This is the old one. And so now we need to move from here to there, right? And so I need to make some changes here. This is basically copying from the one table into the other, right? So I'm copying it into the work companies here, so that's okay. But this is the name that it should correspond to. So I'm going to change this guy here to work company 2. Okay. I think I needed to make some changes here. There you go. It completed successfully, so let me bring this down here. So even though it has a little wriggly line, I think that's okay. So this is the part. There was I think it was typed as a row, but anyway, I'll post this up on the script. So anyway, I just put a MyDB here and then change the spelling of row from R-A-W to R-O-W. Anyway, so you completed okay, and now we need to verify, right? So this is the new one. So I'm going to collect it, select this. I'm going to right click on it, and then select the top 1,000 rows, and there it is, right? So both of them now should have it, right? Let me close this guy here, close that. So if I get rid of this, if I right click on this one, I should also get the same thing. Okay, so but this is the one that we are interested. Okay, so take a screenshot of this, something like maybe not. You want to have it all the way up here so I can see. New. Something like this would be good, because you can show me what this guy is here. You can show me this guy here, that there are two of these, and then this is the right one here, and then I can see the script here and the data. Okay, and to paste this into the Word. So let me summarize. It's a little bit long, but let me bring up the note. So let me go over the steps here one more time, overview here. So this is the outline of extract, transform, load. I showed you how to do the extract, creating folders, and how to download and move it around. Basically now to transform, changing from getting rid of the dollar sign and stuff like that, and moving into different folders, and then this is the one of the things you need to submit. And then in terms of loading, we created a database in SQL Server as a staging area. You can name it whatever you want. You can name it exactly the same as what I did. And then we used the Visual Studio to upload the data and then transfer to the SQL Server. We did that using the transfer. Let me bring that diagram here. A control data flow here, so it shows you that it was successful and it is still running. So I can stop now. And then we created a working table simply by copying from one table to another, right? So that's pretty much it. Submit those three things, the file here, and then this screenshot, and then that screenshot. Okay. I hope this was helpful. A little bit long, but um, look forward. Just let me know if you have any questions, and looking forward to receiving your work. Take care. Bye bye.